So we briefly talked about this the other day when covering the LA protests with Trump sending in the National Guard and then the Marines. But we have a separate article just to highlight it here that I just want to bring up again because it's crazy because the right every single day just continues to show that they don't care about freedom of speech. They don't care about freedom of expression. They are terrified to death of any sort of protest. So, and Governor Hot Wheels here is no different. And yes, I'm going to call Governor Greg Abbott Governor Hot Wheels. Jasmine Crockett should have never backed down from that. This guy is he is a garbage human being, to put it lightly. This is someone who backed the purge of nearly 100,000 registered voters, most of whom were found to be legal voters. In 2020, he limited ballot drop-off locations to one per county, claiming fraud prevention, aka when a Republican says they are looking for fraud in elections, it's just a cover for voter suppression. And since 2021, Abbott has launched Operation Lone Star, deploying state troopers and National Guard to arrest migrants on trespassing charges, install razor wire, floating border barriers, and busing migrants to sanctuary cities. That's probably the best one there at the end that you could do. In 2023, he approved a bill that would basically invalidate city and county ordinances requiring mandatory water breaks and rest breaks for outdoor workers. When Texas as is hot. And this was at a time where we were seeing record-breaking heat waves. So, like, fuck you, dude. Like, honestly, getting rid of mandatory rest and water breaks and blistering heat. Oh my goodness. In 2024, he joined other Republican governors in condemning the United Auto Workers unionization efforts. Also in 2024, he basically he pressured the Texas Workforce Commission to remove sexual orientation and gender identity from its public description of public classes. And during a winter storm in February 2021, where I remember this, where over 4.5 million Texans lost power and as many as 700 died, investigations revealed that Abbott appointed regulators had stripped oversight from ERCOT before the crisis. And then finally, this is just scratching the surface, he signed the Texas Heartbeat Act, which prohibits abortions after heartbeat detection, which is only after 6 weeks, and empowered private citizens to sue providers who carry out these abortions. And then we've had several cases of young women and just women in general fucking dying because they couldn't even get a medical abortion in Texas. So I don't care. Governor Hot Wheels, fuck you. I hope they remove your little accessibility ramp to get into your damn courthouse or state capitol building. Jesus Christ. This guy's an asshole. Anyways, I digress. Let's get into the actual article. Governor Abbott deploys over 5,000 Texas National Guard troops ahead of planned No Kings protest. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said Thursday he has ordered the deployment of more than 5,000 Texas National Guard troops, along with more than 2,000 state police, to help local law enforcement manage protests against Donald Trump and ongoing federal immigration raids. If you know anything about these No Kings protests and any of these organizers, they are explicitly saying these are non-violent, peaceful protests. It's not like they're going out there like, yeah, we're going to go and overthrow the government or start storming buildings and looting. Like, and that point, I'm like, all right, I see why you'd be a little cautious, but this is just pure authoritarianism. We all know what happened in LA when the National Guard were deployed, followed by the Marines. It escalated things. Tensions escalated. It made things worse. Abbott's announcement did not detail where troops were sent, but some were seen at a protest Wednesday night in downtown San Antonio near the Alamo. That protest drew hundreds of demonstrators but did not erupt into violence. More protests are planned on Saturday in San Antonio and across Texas in cities such as Houston, Austin, and Dallas as part of the National No Kings movement. Protests earlier this week in Austin and Dallas led to brief clashes with when police used chemical irritants to disperse the crowds. About a dozen were arrested. Peaceful protests are a part of the fabric of our nation, but Texas will not tolerate the lawlessness we have seen in Los Angeles. In response to President Donald Trump's enforcement of immigration law, Abbott said, anyone engaging in acts of violence or damaging property will be arrested and held accountable to the full extent of the law. So brave of you. The Republican Texas governor's move stands in sharp contrast to California Governor Gavin Newsom, a Democrat who has publicly clashed with Trump over his decision to deploy National Guard and Marine personnel in Los Angeles. Mayors in San Antonio and Austin have said they did not ask for Abbott to mobilize the National Guard to their cities. Abbott, who has been governor since 2014, has been aggressive in deploying the National Guard in the past, particularly for immigration enforcement on the border. Yeah, these people love swinging their big dick military around. Like, it's crazy. Like, as far as internal matters go for the National Guard, unless you have a real issue, which this clearly isn't, they should normally be relegated to like helping the public, helping the community, disaster relief, and etc. Not you playing war on the border with Mexico, you fucking coward, and trying to oppress your citizens who are just trying to peacefully protest. My lord. Since 2021, the Texas Guard has played a prominent role in Abbott's Operation Lone Star that we touched on earlier, and thousands of troops have been deployed to help clamp down on border crossings. In agreement with the Trump administration in February, gave Texas National Guard soldiers the authority to arrest and detain people for entering the U.S. illegally from Mexico. Texas also had established a permanent border base for Guard troops on an 80-acre installation that will house up to 1,800 troops when completed. I completely forgot about that because... And that's a crazy thing to forget about. There's just so much shit going on. But yeah, there you have it. Governor Hot Wheels. At it again with just being a coward and just anti-constitution, anti-freedom of expression. These people are sick. And yeah, that's all more I say without getting into another rant and saying something that'll get me in trouble. Anyways. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. Links in the description below for your local protest. You can use these tools to find a protest near you for Saturday. Please attend, please be safe, and please be peaceful. Thank you for watching. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below. And if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.